Steelyard, and I'm here with Patti Carpenter, who's a trend forecaster, especially in color trend forecasting. And there's so many things we could talk about, but I first want to ask you, and we are actually, it is after 3.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
It's after 5 somewhere.
It's after 5 somewhere, and we were enjoying our teeny tiny martinis.
Absolutely.
A couple of gals slamming down a little teeny.
There you go.
So have you been in an Airstream?
Well, the funny part was my parents retired many years ago now, and when they first did that, they decided that they were going to RV, and I was so surprised because they'd never discussed it before. But I expected when I came home from New York to Florida, where they had retired, that it was going to be a gorgeous silver Airstream, this bullet-shaped thing. Yeah. And it was like one of those modern things that people go on the road in when they're on tour.
Like tailgate.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, no, it was big. It was like, I live in New York, it was bigger. No, theirs was already big. That's what I'm saying. It slept a lot of people. It was a big thing. It was bigger than certainly bigger than my first apartment in New York.
So a couple people came in from New York saying, "This is as big as my apartment."
There you go. I mean, we crowd in there in New York. We that city living.
So where did you grow up?
I actually grew up in Washington, D.C. And I came to New York to go to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology. So my first career was in fashion. I was a clothing designer for over 25 years. I worked with Bill Blass and Oscar de Renta and Ralph Lauren and the Limited Corporation and Timberland. And I was the vice president at Ralph Lauren and sort of saw the changes that were happening in the fashion industry. Had been looking at the home industry for inspiration for many years. And decided that I had an opportunity to do an artisan development program with a company that it's actually a nonprofit, Aid to Artisans, that I've been working with for years. And they offered me an opportunity for a 3-year project in Mali in Africa. And I would go down and I would work with artisans and I would help them to create a market, either local, regional, or export, depending on their capabilities and capacity. And this one was for Malian cotton. And so I was going to have to go for like a month at a time, a few times a year for 3 years, and I couldn't do that as a VP at Ralph Lauren. They weren't going to give me that kind of time. So I made the decision that was really important to me, to help other people do something with their lives that allowed their culture to be sustained and to build some economic sustainability. So that's the other side of what I do. It feeds my color and trend work. Yeah. And off I went, and I've never looked back. 20 years this year on my own.
Wow. Yeah, and your business now it's called Patti C Trendscope.
That's one side of it. The Trendscope is the color and trend side, and then Carpenter and Company is the work when I do the international development. So we have 2 poles. We have 2 poles with the business, and one feeds the other. Yeah. And I love that. And one of my favorite things is that I'm now really starting in this industry to make linkages between artisans that are making handmade things and bringing them into this industry, because everyone's looking for that warmth and experience in their home and that story to tell about their products. So it's wonderful.
I think, people, when they do travel, they do see all these things and think, how do we get this?
Exactly.
How do we get this to the people who are going to appreciate it?
And I just decided then that I wanted to help be that link, because it's very difficult when you sit, so far away and you're in a small village somewhere, and what you make is stunning and beautiful and people want it, but you don't know how to link into that. So that's what I sort of decided to be that bridge.
So what's your latest discovery? Like, what's your thing? Like, what are you into now? Like,
well, actually, I just took Cisco Brothers, who wholesales here. He and his daughter, who's his creative director, Mariska, came to Guatemala with me about 2 months ago, not quite 2 months, and we worked with 4 of our groups that I've been working with for 17 years, and we hand wove some textiles. And if you go over there now, you can see them upholstered on chairs at Cisco, and they're gorgeous, beautiful pillows and beautiful textiles.
What do they look? I mean,
they're hand woven cottons. They have, because they're 4 different groups, so some of them have more. The weaving is very particular. So some of them are woven on a pedal loom, and some of them are woven on a backstrap loom. And so the backstrap loom I love because it's very narrow, so you can only do certain things with it. But the motion of the woman's body as she weaves gives you beautiful texture, like a brocade. So you get these really beautiful highs and lows. And then there are others that are much more of a flat weave. Those are usually woven on a pedal loom, and they're all cotton.
What kind of palette?
They've done 3 or 4. Each one had a different. So the chairs when you walk in on the stairs are all in a beautiful indigo and natural cotton and a subtle brown stripe. Because he's very indigo driven. And then some of the pillows go as bright as orange and pink. Very warm palette, bright shades. So we took very traditional patterns, but we put them in very modern, contemporary colors. And then Mariska did a beautiful job where she found beautiful backings. So sometimes they're backed in velvet, sometimes they're backed in cotton, sometimes they're backed in a beautiful iridescent silk that picks up the 2 or 3 colors that are in the weave. She did a beautiful job. I'm so proud to be a part of that project.
Well, we'll have to get there. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure, and people can find it online.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure they'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
So that's great. So
that's where my worlds collide.
Collide, yeah. And then so trend, color forecasting, trend, what's next,
On that side?
Yeah.
Well, we just got back from the September edition of Maison where I'm their global trend ambassador. This is my 5th year of that.
And
I'm
you have to go to Paris for that.
I know, it's so hard. I don't know how we do it. But somebody's got to do it, and I just said, I'll try it.
Yeah.
So 5 years now, and it's been really lovely. So the show's twice a year, September and January. So just got back from the September show, and I've been traveling around and doing the talk. So we did it in Dallas for their design week. We did it in Laguna for their designer days. I just did it last week at the D&D building in New York for their market days. This is my first High Point not speaking in a couple of years, so I'm just really enjoying just being here and being immersed and hearing my friends talk.
Yeah, so where are you going to do it next? Where's your next?
We're going to do another one in New York soon. I usually do some work with either IDS, the Interior Design Society, or IFDA, so we'll do one with them,
Two of our
sure.
Favorites.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll do something with them.
Okay.
And then in January, I'll be back at Dallas doing another one. Right after the January show, and then I have clients in between, so I do webinars with it. So sometimes I go and speak in person, and sometimes I do it as a webinar, and people join me online, and we just talk about what kinds of things we've seen emerging from the show. As their global trend ambassador, I get to take almost 4,000 pictures at every show.
And I've been to your presentation, and I know you always have such great slides, and you put them together, and it's beautiful. So people can find out on your Instagram.
Yes, please follow me on Instagram.
When the next
talk is, and I always post when I'm going to be somewhere. Great. So please, absolutely come and join us. I love it because I call it the creative conversation. For me, it's wonderful because I'm distilling, 8 hauls and 5 days of information down into what I really see as key. We're usually working almost 2 years out, like what we're talking about now is 2021, and I've been talking about it since 3 years in some cases, 2 years in others. But it's that idea that the things that I'm pointing out are really things that we see having longevity, and we really do discuss how some of those things will come here and maybe some of them will not, because we do have different tastes, in Europe versus the US. So all the trends we spot may not be the ones that are going to be the strongest here, but we definitely have our fingers on the ones that we do know that are going to be really important and should be focused on. And we talk about it in material, we talk about it in color, we talk about it in print, pattern, surface design. Yeah. So that way, all the things that designers need to, the parts that you look for.
Well, it's been great. I and I know you name a lot of colors too,
Yes.
and we have this, our little, nail polish trail.
Yes, which I love.
And
I've gotten 2. I've gotten 3 now. I got to go find my pink.
Yeah, that's it. That's at the point.
Okay.
So
all right. Okay.
And
I don't have the silver. I have these warm.
Well, this is ours. This is the Airstream.
Oh,
so
okay. I've got to get that.
You might, you know somebody now, so we might be able to get you that one. That's
Thank
the
you.
Steelyard color.
Yeah.
But we, each brand who participates, they name their color.
Yes.
So some are more challenging. So we might have to tap into you.
Oh,
to
I love that.
Help them name the color.
Give me a bottle of wine at 2 a.m, and that's
right.
when I name my colors.
Or maybe 5 of
or
these.
some mini martinis, exactly.
Well,
but no, I love. It's funny because people always ask me about naming color, and it is one of the things that I enjoy. And I don't look at it. I mean, people always say, "Do you look at Pantone?" I work with Pantone as a consultant. Do you look at Pantone or Benjamin Moore or people like that for their names? I never do. I always wait until after, because I don't even match them to anything. I do them really when I'm distilling them and putting them together. It's what I see, and I want. I really talk about the macro trends that influence it and why that color is coming, and so it's really important to me. The names really resonate, and also often they're very tongue in cheek, and I'm just amusing myself.
Yeah. I mean, they should be funny, and
Exactly.
puns, and especially nail polish. They do a lot of puns, but
yes, I love
it is
the puns.
interesting how a name like this one at the same color, the name can date it. Because we were talking about
absolutely.
And we were talking about bridesmaids dresses.
Oh,
like
yes.
what color was your
Yes,
bridesmaid's dress?
yes.
And so mine, this is going to date me, was sea foam green.
Oh.
But
It's the same
You
kind
call
of
you can call
my
it mint
card
now.
now.
Yeah,
Yes, my
like-
card is a mint, which some
Yes,
people might call a seafoam.
But if you say seafoam, then you're just like, okay, that's 1982.
Yes, there you go. Yours were seafoam. Mine were my favorite flower is the bird of paradise. So my sister and my mom were in a coral color that represented the little orange shoots, and my bridesmaids were in a lavender color that represented the purple. So it was all toned down.
But see, coral and lavender don't sound dated.
That's true.
Seafoam does.
See, right, exactly. Although it's so funny, and both of those colors are really very popular right now.
Really, yeah.
Because it sort of talks to when we did it, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I
Yeah.
kinda did see it, but-
Yeah, no, but that's wonderful. I love color. Color. I was going through. I forgot whose showroom I was in yesterday with a friend of mine, and I mean it happens in many of them, but there's so many rich jewel tones that I'm seeing here at Market, which I love, and we've been talking about and pushing for a while. And there's literally colors that make me salivate. You know, you just see them and they're just so engaging, and that whole idea of how saturated they are, if they're on the right fabric.
Yeah.
You know that you really get the vibrancy and the energy. And right now with everything that's going on, those are the things that make us happy. You know, we're entering into this new decade, and we need that sense of optimism, I think, to help us all go forward together. And I think that's one of the things that's really lovely. It used to be, especially when I was in fashion many years ago, you know, bright colors like your color that you have on, you know, in New York they would kind of go, whereas I go home to Washington DC or down into Virginia where my mom and dad are from, and people love color. You wear head to toe color, you know. And then New York maybe we're all black and a little, you know, something of color. And so I love that people are really embracing color in the way they are now. I have one black today because it was my last day here of running around like I'm running. Tomorrow was a little quieter. But then I have to put on a top. I have to. And I have on my lovely, from Orfeo, my lovely new green bauble.
Really cool.
Yeah, I love him. He's an amazing glass designer. Do you know him?
No.
Oh my gosh. In the radio building, go up the stairs in the very back. His name is Orfeo. He's an incredible glass. Orfero. No, am I saying it right? Orfeo. No, I said it wrong. Oh, forgive me. Orfeo. Orfeo. Yes,
like Oreo, but without
an F in there.
And
exactly. And he's from Mexico. His dad was a glass blower. His mother was a jewelry designer. This is not something. I mean, he has jewelry now, but that's not the thing he does. He is an incredible glass objects and glass accessories, and just stunning work. He's done work for major corporations and wonderful interiors for both residential and commercial. But his work is extraordinary. You don't see anything like it. You gotta go see him.
I'll have to go check it out.
But he always has these little bubbles to play with, and so I get a new color. I get a new color every time.
Well, it's been such a pleasure. I mean, we could sit and talk. We're just gonna. Well, next time I'm in New York, I'm just gonna have to call.
Oh yeah, please do come hang out.
Meet it in Flatiron or something.
Oh yeah, I'm very close. I'm in Chelsea. That's walking distance. Absolutely. And there's lots of places to have teeny tiny.
Oh, I do know. So well, cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you. It's been fun being in the Airstream. Cheers.